I truly believe that it is embedded in our DNA as humans to collect things, so it should be no surprise that most video games involve collecting one thing or another. In The Legend of Zelda, you are collecting pieces of the Triforce to defeat Ganon. But you are also collecting rupees and bombs, items, item upgrades, and heart containers. In Banjo and Kazooie, you collect jigsaw puzzle pieces called jiggies, and music notes and crystal skulls. Even card games like Solitaire, you're collecting and organizing the cards in a specific manner. While collecting things can be fun, there are a lot of instances where the task becomes a bit daunting, and will probably be abandoned unless you are a completionist. I truly believe that Spyro is one of the perfect examples of a simple collectathon game that offers little distraction from the main objective. However, going forward, I'm only going to compare Spyro the Dragon to its PlayStation 1 sequels, mainly because I think it would take a bit too long to compare every other collectathon-style 3D platformer, and as far as I'm concerned, there's only 3 Spyro games, and they're the ones I've mentioned in this video. I will be referring to Spyro the Dragon as Spyro 1 for the remainder of the video. Something I've struggled with for quite a while in my life is paying attention to the story in video games. Unless a game really captivates me, I will generally skip cutscenes and button mash through dialogue. Shout out to all my Final Fantasy XIV friends that have given me a mountain of shit for doing just that. This is the main reason why I think that Spyro 1 makes for the perfect collectathon. While there is a story in the game, it doesn't really make you go out of your way to engage with it. If you skip the intro cutscene, you won't really know why you are collecting gems or freeing dragons. I talked quite a bit about the plot in the Spyro is Evil video, so go check that one out for more information. In Spyro 1, all you really need to know is that you need to collect things to get further in the game. Those 3 things being gems, dragons, and eggs. To progress past each homeworld, the requirements are as follows: 10 dragons and artisans, 1200 gems and peacekeepers, 5 dragon eggs and magic crafters, 50 dragons and beast makers, and 6,000 gems and dreamweavers. These tasks are not difficult, and are quite manageable for even fledgling gamers. What really makes Spyro 1 the best is that there's absolutely no Spyro 1 doesn't make you backtrack, with the exception of unlocking Sunny Flight after learning about the secret from Lucas and Wizard Peak. But it's not really an exception because this can be skipped by just jumping on all the platforms right at the start of the game. One of the things that really bothered me about the sequels in both Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage and Spyro Year the Dragon is the sheer amount of backtracking that you were forced to do. In Spyro 2, you unlock new abilities that prevent you from 100%ing each level as you play through the game, and they don't even ease you into it. The very first level requires you to have climbing to attempt one of the orb challenges, and you don't even unlock that ability until you get to the second homeworld. In Year of the Dragon, there are a few extra characters that you liberate that can be played as in various challenges peppered throughout the levels. This, once again, forces you to come back later and finish up, as most of these aren't unlocked until later in the game. I do not find this to be a particularly exciting feature in any game. And what is this all for? To artificially add playtime to games? To pad it out so they could advertise more hours of playtime? I know that adding these things is actually just a form of world building to make the series a little more interesting. I just appreciate that Spyro 1 didn't need any of that to be the meteoric success that it was. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But clearly, fixing it was the right choice, because a lot of Spyro fans that I've spoken to prefer Ripto and Year of the Dragon to the original, and that's fine. I just personally appreciate the simplicity of entering a level and being able to gather everything available without having to backtrack as soon as you go through the portal. Every homeworld in Spyro has every level available to enter as long as you can get to the portal, without any Now, when I say self-sabotage, I don't necessarily mean you sabotaging yourself, but more so your team stifling your progress. One of the biggest issues I have with the Spyro sequels is the sheer number of times that Hunter will have some item that he knows that you need to collect to defeat the respective villain, but instead of just pulling your resources, he makes you collect stupid popcorn crystals or the professor will make you find his pencil before he gives you the orb that he found, and they usually write it off as such. Oh, by the way, I found this MacGuffin while we were doing X activity. More world building, I guess. I know that a lot of Spyro fans appreciate these challenges. Spyro 1 to me is just superior because there's none of this side mission nonsense, or bears that make you pay to unlock levels. My personal biggest annoyance are the portals that require a certain number of orbs or eggs to unlock. I could overlook this if the orbs were actually taken from you and used to power the portals, but they aren't.
Wait a minute!
How does having hatched dragon babies power up portals in Year of the Dragon? These requirements are absurd and only serve to force you to play specific levels first, rather than allowing you the freedom to choose the order of levels that you want to play. Spyro 1 doesn't care though, because Spyro 1 loves you, and will let you play in any order that you want, with the exception of Toasty and Artisans, but even that can be accessed early if you try hard enough. And, well, I suppose the same is true in Nasty's Nexus, but you can enter Nasty's level early too if you're dedicated. Regardless, you have more freedom of movement in Spyro 1, and there are no annoying in-between homeworld. Each homeworld in Spyro 1 has a level built around a boss. There's Toasty, Dr. Shemp, Blowhard, Metalhead, Jacques, and Nasty himself. These bosses serve the purpose of giving us a little break from the standard level layout, and for the most part, a somewhat linear level design. These bosses generally drop a decent amount of gems. Even Nasty Nork tosses you a cool 100 gems once defeated.
You're toast, Nork.
A couple of bosses even offer some comic relief, like when you discover that Toasty is actually a sheep on stilts, or when Dr. Shemp pops away holding his freshly roasted
buttocks.
Boss fights are something that really just became a chore in the sequels. The developers opted to copy the Crash Bandicoot style of adding a boss in between homeworld transitions. In Ripto's Rage you get Crush and Gulp, which don't offer any rewards for their demise other than access to the new area. The same can be said for Year of the Dragon, and you actually get an egg for defeating each one. I know that most people enjoy a good story and find the side challenges entertaining.
Trouble with the trolley, eh?
This is fun! We're having fun!
But for me, as much as I love all three games, I just want to pick up the sticks and turn off my brain and just go. And that's exactly what Spyro 1 offers. No backtracking, no forced bosses, and all but one dragon that you can just skip right past with useless information they offer.
Thank you for releasing me!
All my homies hate Nestor. If I see Nestor at the Artisan's GameStop, we're gonna have a problem. I 100% stole that joke. Shout out to Breadsword. I miss you, man. Please make more videos. The simplicity of Spyro 1 is something that I don't see in collectathon games anymore. I would love to see a new game come out that is just as streamlined as this classic, but I know that this is unlikely, as most people want all the bells and whistles with games these days.
Oh, a man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to my ramblings. Huge shout out to Jin Swag Tia for letting me use her rap proxy clip. Check out her content linked below. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It's free for you, and it will help boost the channel. I have a massive video planned next, and no memes this time, I promise. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Take care.